Good afternoon and welcome to the Happy Half Hour. I'm Leigh Kubin.
And I'm Sandra Priestley. Welcome to the podcast and happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. What you
So
drinking?
I am drinking ice water with a little bit of lime juice in it.
Oh,
I'm at my son's condo in Edmonton, and
sitting in front of the wall of cash.
sitting in front of the wall of cash.
Love
I
it.
know. I love that he did it. And that he listens to my feng shui. Every once in a while he'll say, well, it's good feng shui, which the wall of cash, I feel like, yes, it
100%.
totally is. What are you
Yes.
drinking today?
Water,
Oh,
a little lemon water with no ice because we have no ice up here.
oh. I I came across this reel from a Rich Roll podcast. I did not know who this dude was,
Hadn't
but
heard of him.
right, he's got a podcast, and I know nothing about him, so sorry, Rich Roll. But anyway, he interviewed a Harvard professor, and he's a behavioral scientist. I'm just reading here. His
Hmm.
name is Arthur Brooks, and he has a he has a class. It's a happiness class,
Oh,
probably philosophy or behavioral class, right?
yeah.
Happiness. And I found this was so interesting, not mind blowing, like most things that will change your fucking life. It doesn't have to be mind blowing at all.
Hmm.
It's simple. But what he has all of his students do in this happiness class is get out a notebook and write down in the moment, write down anything that is feels like failure or disappointment. So he calls it the failure and disappointment list. And his whole focus is to never waste your suffering. If you're suffering through anything, is to never waste it.
Yeah.
So he tells you to create this failure and disappointment list. As soon as you feel some sort of disappointment or failure or something devastating, you write it down on a line or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you intentionally leave 2 lines below it. And then inevitably,
Hmm.
you'll have another failure and disappointment. I mean, if you're trying, you're going to fail.
Yes.
So then you write down the next disappointment or failure that you experience. That's in the, it would be the fourth line,
Hmm.
and date it. 1 month after your failure, you go back to the list and you look at what you learned. You write down on the first line, what did you learn? So 1 month after the failure, what did you learn? Then 3 months later, you go back to it again and you write what good thing happened as a result of that failure or disappointment. And what this does is rewire your brain so that you are not scared off by failure or disappointment.
Hmm.
You don't feel like it's devastating, right? Because as soon as something fails, as soon as we fuck something up, as soon as there's some massive, we feel this like huge ego hit, right? Like,
Yeah.
fuck, did I screw this up again? Why am I set? We
I
start to,
always do this.
right.
Yeah.
I'm such a failure. Why is that? And so this rewires your brain so that failure is just like, oh shit, okay, well, guess what? Something good is going to come out of this,
Hmm.
and I'm going to learn from it, and
Yeah.
something amazing is going to happen. In the next 3 months, something amazing will happen.
Yeah.
So it neutralizes it. And it also reminds me of Sarah Blakely with Spanx and Sneaks now, right? Sarah will say that when she was growing up, her dad didn't want to hear what they had done well. He wanted to hear about what they failed at. And so, because it was showing that they were actually fucking trying
Yeah.
and that they were pushing themselves to do just, to reach for something that would be challenging for them. And
Mm-hmm.
so she was never scared off of failure. She was never focused on how that made her feel, because how it made her feel was like, yeah, high five. Tried something, not fucking good at it, but I pushed myself to try.
Yeah.
I just think it's fascinating. And of course, it's Harvard professor built on research.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a happiness class.
That is awesome, though.
I think it's fucking fantastic.
And to get into that habit, because what is it? And I don't know where I got this quote from, but 95% of who we are is just a set of memorized behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we
Yeah.
have the same patterns over and over, and something happens, failure, it's the end of the world.
Yeah.
Instead of, this isn't working.
Exactly.
What do I need to tweak?
Mm-hmm.
It's like me being in that gymnastics class at age 5, and the guy telling my mom, she's not very good, don't bring
Yeah.
her back. I mean, really? After
At
one
age
class?
5. Yeah.
Yeah. And
She's not going to make it to the Olympics.
uh, it's like, I'm short and everything. I don't get it. It's that same thing. But that taught me, if you try something and you're not good at it the first time, then give it up.
Right.
And I did not know until I was a grown ass woman with children, watching them suck at stuff. Like the first time Logan played his saxophone, it was like, oh dear God. I remember Lily used to sing, it was not pretty. I never told her that. I have now, and we laugh about it now. But she has the voice of an angel now.
Wow.
I could listen to that girl sing. Like, her voice is magnificent. I mean, it's just beautiful.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. And if I had told her as a little kid, honey, you don't sing very well,
Mhm.
she might not be able to do what she can do now.
Yeah.
And Logan turned into a great saxophone player. But it taught
Yeah.
me practice. You can't try something once
Hmm.
and go, oh, that's not for me. There would not be a thing on the planet for any of us.
It's amazing, Cam, he always talks about this one time where he just believed so strongly from a young age, like he was maybe 6 or 7, like from young, that he was going to win the lottery. He believed it to his core. He just came out from it. Like I said, were you just trying to impress your parents? Or like, no, I knew it. I knew it. I was going to win the lottery. And I told my mom, you know what? I'm going to win the lottery. And her response to him was, Cameron, no, you're not. People don't win the lottery. And it is one of those things that's so impactful in his life. And he can still remember believing it to his core, knowing it, like just intuitively knowing it, and
Yep.
her just going, nope. And it just crushed him
Hmm.
to the place where I don't even know if he even was buying lottery tickets.
Yeah.
Like it's amazing how we can, do so much damage by saying, well, one time gymnastics, she's not gonna rock this. You might as well take her back.
I was listening to Abraham this morning, and she was talking about her and Jerry were at a little diner. It was a small little diner. And there was a mother and son having breakfast or lunch, I don't know which. And the son had been there, he was young, and it had been entirely too long, and he was ready to go. And he wasn't cooperating quite like his mother would like. And mom was getting embarrassed. because
Mm.
small quarters, she felt like he is disturbing these people trying to eat. So she tells him, "You are a bad, bad boy."
Aw.
And he's like, "I am not bad." And she said, "The first time they tell you that, you protest and you say, 'That is not true. That is not true.' But the more they say it, the more you believe it."
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow. To go back.
To go
Go
back.
back, right?
Yeah.
Because how many things do you say as a parent that you are not at all thinking? Even my mother-in-law, and I mean, I wasn't a big fan, but even my mother-in-law, I have to believe that when she said that, it wasn't with the intention to crush his fucking spirit. You know
No.
what I mean? Like
She was
we,
trying to protect him, I'm sure.
right. I
Yeah.
mean, 'cause we are really all just walking trauma responses. Like this is my, we just are,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know? So, and it would be for her to, or maybe she was frustrated with him at the time, or
Mhm.
who freaking knows what the hell. But we do the best that we possibly can, and we
Yeah.
still fuck up sometimes. Like wouldn't it be great if we could go
Mhm.
back and be perfect? If
I
we
know.
could just
I'll hear
go back.
Lily talking to Easton and I'm like, "Oh, you're gonna regret that. You're gonna."
I
And
know.
if I can say something, I will.
Yeah.
But there are times it's just not appropriate. But
Yeah.
in my heart, I'm like, that's the benefit of being a grandparent.
True.
Because you can then decipher, is this important?
Hmm.
And is like, you see it different.
Well, in everything, I feel like you look back on it, when even when I was younger, or when the kids were younger, I'll never forget this one time. I was sitting in the hockey rink and my son was on the ice, and I think he was like novice, like 10 years old, maybe
Yeah.
12. I don't know what age you are, but very young. And there was a parent that was sitting in front of me listening to all of these novice parents screaming and yelling and cheering and mad at the refs and mad at their kid, and one of the parents in front who had older hockey player boys said, "Geez, I love novice parents." And the woman she was sitting with said, "What do you mean?" And the woman said, "Because they constantly think this is the big show," right? Like they constantly, everything is such a big deal.
Yeah.
I'll never forget it because when Cole was like playing bantam and midget, and I look back to these tiny little kids playing novice, and I think, fuck,
Uh-huh.
to be able to go back. I mean, I'm not the I cheer loud but never against the
Sure.
refs. In fact, there were times where Cam and I sat with the opposition because we couldn't stand to listen to how parents were talking about their own kids on our team.
Oh,
It was awful.
yeah.
So we just sort of kept to ourselves a lot of the time. But I just think, wow, when you can look back and you can see this game is not going to matter
Mhm.
in 5 minutes from now, let alone 5 years from now. But the way, the emotion and the anger and you know, Cole once played with a kid who said that, "Oh, I don't even want to get out of the dressing room because my dad's going to make me walk home. I played so terribly." At minus fucking 30 Celsius, you're going to make your kid walk home with this big, huge bag because he didn't play well. Guess what? Sometimes I have a shitty day, and so does that dad.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We spend so much time making big deals about stuff that just won't matter 5 years
Yeah.
from now.
And it's a distraction,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
instead of using it as an opportunity to go, what went wrong? What can you do different next time? What'd you learn?
Exactly. Exactly. But it is interesting. What was the quote that you said again about 95%?
95% of who we are is just a set of memorized behaviors. I
Yeah.
don't know who said that. Probably
Yeah.
Joe Dispenza, if I'm gonna guess.
Oh, that does sound like a Joe Dispenza thing. Beliefs that we've repeated.
Yeah.
It's just beliefs that we've
Hmm.
repeated. I've been thinking lately about all of the things that I believe myself to be
Hmm.
and the things that I say to myself. And even, I mean, I have had conversations with a couple of clients this week. One client, she was saying to me, I don't know. I feel like she put into ChatGPT because ChatGPT is like more than just can you create this for me, right?
Right.
Like so she put in and said, this is how I'm feeling. I don't know how to get out of this. I mean, you can use it as a almost like a therapist sometimes.
Yeah.
Or what I do is this is my diet plan. This is what I have in my fridge. Can you come up with something spectacular? And it'll give the recipes. It's so good. So good for recipes. Oh yeah.
That
Chat
is
GPT,
crazy.
right? Yeah. You can say, I have this and this and this in my fridge, and I want no starchy carbs. Sure, Sandra. And like it'll give you five. I need five recipes for two people for dinner tonight. It's amazing. Anyway,
Okay.
so she put it into ChatGPT and she said, this is how I'm feeling. I'm feeling really stuck. I don't want to do anything. I. And what comes out, what spits out at her is, I totally understand. You need to take little tiny steps. You need to, and it was really good. They said, possibly you're in a bit of a depression. I mean, like it was therapy at your fingertips, right?
Wow. Wow.
She comes back to me and she says, this just feels so true. I think this is, I am in a depression, but I'm also in my business. I'm not fully going forward. I'm changing all the time because of fear that I'm going to fail and blah blah blah. And my response to her was, what's interesting is you fed that information into Chat GPT, and what you got out of it was a slightly more educational or intellectual response, but you fed it into the computer.
Yeah.
So Chat GPT is like the universe. Like it just was so, well, what you're feeding it, you're going to get back.
Yeah.
She uses ChatGPT for like personal stuff and
Yeah.
business anyway. So it's like it's gathering, it's learning all about her.
Hmm.
So my response was, you've got to change what you're putting into ChatGPT to get a different response, just like you have to change what you're saying to the world, to the universe, to yourself
Yeah.
if you want a different response. If you
Yeah.
keep saying, fuck, I feel depressed, fuck, I feel like a failure, fuck, I can't stand
Yeah.
looking at myself in the mirror,
Hmm.
right? It's like when you were weight loss coaching
Hmm.
and you were saying, find something about yourself to love.
Yeah. Start with your toes if you need to. Go get a pedicure
Exactly.
and then look at your toes. Yeah.
Because it starts to shift.
Changes everything because
Mm-hmm.
then you're appreciating, oh, those toes do look pretty good. Hmm. And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden it's the legs. You just start noticing, oh, this looks really good.
Yeah. And you start to vibrate at a frequency of positivity.
Hmm.
And then you start to recognize the things that you're grateful for and the
Yeah.
things that are happening that are good in your life. If you constantly say, my life has been a fucking shit show forever, guess what? You're looking for evidence that you're right
And you're
always.
gonna get it.
And you're going to get it.
Yeah. Who is
You're
it that says if you look for evidence that you're not enough, you will find it? Is it Brene
yes,
Brown?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
She
But it's,
repeated it. I know.
yeah,
But yeah.
I think I heard it come out of her mouth, but I don't know that she came up with that quote. But we're going to look, or we're going to see whatever we're looking for.
Hmm.
And if we have a pattern of telling the story of woe is me, we're going to
Exactly.
get more things that confirm that
Yeah. Yeah.
instead of what we want, where we want to go.
Well, and I think this is why I love affirmations so much
Miss, I
lately.
will never write an affirmation.
Right? I know. I know. But I am obsessed with affirmations.
Yeah.
By the way, you want to know something else that I'm obsessed with? I don't know if I told you that I did this, but there was something I threw into ChatGPT,
Hmm.
and it was the prompt was something like, um, please ask me 20 questions. Did I tell you this already?
Mm-mm.
Please ask me a series of 20 questions that helps me refine my vision in the areas of body, life, business, finances, hobbies, something like that.
Yeah.
And once the 20th question has been answered, please provide me with a vision that I can read to myself every single day, a visualization that I can read to myself every single day. Holy shit, it is so good. And it was interesting when I started to do this because as I started to ask, like the first questions were kind of broad, right? What
Yeah.
does your ideal day look like? And I remember thinking after the first two questions, three questions, I remember thinking, oh my God, okay, this is going to take me forever.
Hmm.
I don't want to do this journaling exercise.
Never
Let me,
mind.
no, I do not want to do this. And it was interesting because as I got to that third one, I thought, wait a minute. If I don't want to spend the time in this journaling exercise, here is why I'm not hitting my goals, right? Like, put in the fucking effort, Priestley. And so after I started with those three,
Hmm.
it was interesting because they got more fine tuned.
Okay.
They were the questions were more fine tuned and they were quicker to answer.
Okay.
One of them was something like if you looked back and it was December 31st, 2025, and you looked back and one thing changed in your life, what would you have it be? And so I, who's a smart ass to ChatGPT, said, just one, what the fuck? Can't I have two? And then I said, okay, but here, this would be my one. The next question is, Sandra, give me your second one, because yes, you can have two. I mean, it is a conversation. You can create ChatGPT to be a conversation. And so once I got the 20th one done, the visualization was a full long page. It was so beautiful. It is inside my journal. I get up every single morning and I journal and then I read the visualization. I truly believe if you read that visualization every single day of
Hmm.
2025, it'll change your fucking life.
Now I
It's
gotta go do this.
You have to. I will give you the exact prompt
Okay.
and we can even put it in the show notes here. But it was just something that I randomly seen on Instagram, try this prompt and see what happens. But I swear it will change your life.
Okay.
Even just like one of the things was that I would be able to expand my business with grace and ease and without social media. What's interesting about that is that I've been reading this, right? Like I've been reading this every single day. And then what happens? I notice, wait a minute, I actually don't fucking like social media at all. But also, it's really started to make me think, so how could I shift my
Yeah.
business, right? It opens you up to see things in a different way when you're not really, no, all I'm thinking is, well, you got to be on social media, you got to, but no, there's
Yeah.
so many other, I mean, it might be a podcast and email series, or
Hmm.
it could be me going to a networking group.
Yeah.
It could be
Yeah.
so much more than just what we see in front of us. And this visualization just like honed it right in
Yeah.
for me. My God, I loved it.
Oh my gosh. How cool is that?
Right? I know. Ugh.
You and your Instagram.
Me and my Instagram. And I mean, that is social media, I suppose, too. I mean, it is. And I'm not, but I'm more consuming on it than I
Hmm.
am posting on it. But I'm finding that it is just more positive. The algorithm hasn't changed like it has in Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know if it's the algorithm, if it's because Instagram is just pictures.
Yeah, well, reels. Like I've been seeing all of the reels,
That's
right?
true.
So it is people talking, but it
Okay.
seems to be more positive, or in my feed anyway,
Hmm.
it seems to be a lot more positive, and I don't see any political shit.
Okay.
On Facebook, the algorithm has shifted so that you're not seeing as much of your personal friends as you are things that Facebook believes you are interested in.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
so you gotta stop. Like I cannot read anything. Like even if you pause on something that would be political in nature, if you
Yeah.
pause on it, you're getting more of that shit in your
I
newsfeed.
was wondering why I've had all of these things, like, because it's not people I know. And I'm like, I don't want to see this shit. Like, I
Yeah,
might agree with you on
right.
some level,
Yeah,
but I'm not going to feed it.
exactly. Exactly. It's just shifting right now, and it'll get back to normal, I'm sure. But yeah, it's a lot of political crap.
It is. But on a lighter note, the Hebrew translation of magic or abracadabra
Mhm.
is as I speak, so I create.
Oh,
And again, don't know where that came from, but I
yeah.
was watching a little podcast or something and that popped up. As I speak, so I create.
Isn't that true?
Mhm. Whether it's what I want or what I do not.
Mm-hmm.
What am I talking about?
Right.
Who am I talking about?
And what am I saying? And what am I thinking? And what are the
Yeah,
absolutely? And what am I reading for my visualization every day? Right?
yeah, yep,
Wow. I love that.
yeah. As I speak, so I create. Or we can just say abracadabra.
Abracadabra. I like it.
But on that
Oh,
note, I think we are about out of time.
we are. Oh my gosh, this went so fast.
So fast. Thank you
Well,
so much. And thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next Thursday on the Happy Half Hour. Bye.